Hello, my name is Trevor and this is part 2 of the Dark Night of the Soul. This is the cocoon stage. The cocoon stage is where all transformation takes place. This is the longest process. But don't forget, you could be 30, 40, 50 years old, being the caterpillar. So don't rush the transformation in the cocoon, because in the cocoon, you are in your inner world of transformation. This is where the soul is taking over, is going to get rid of who you used to be and allow the new self to come through, the awakened self. In this process, imagine the caterpillar in the cocoon, pure darkness, being stripped of its legs, of its skin, and everything it ever knew about itself. But it is being rebuilt. It's being rebuilt to become the butterfly. And in that process, it can take time. And that's what I call God's time. The soul's time. Your mind will want to fight you. Your emotions will want to kill you. But believe me when I say, patience is key. In this process of the dark night of the soul, the cocoon energy is a scary place, I kid you not. The reason being is, in this transformation, what you fear is, who will you become? What will you think, feel and act once you get through? The world has told you, in the darkness, that you cannot get through anywhere. So therefore you try to go back as the caterpillar. This cannot be. It cannot happen. It's impossible. So you have to stop trying to believe that you can go back to who you used to be. This is a mind trick. So this new information of the transformation of the cocoon is for you to get to know you, to get to know your pains, your emotions, and your mind, and your experience. You will be looking at everything in the past of what you have said and done and acted, unconsciously may I add. In the cocoon, it teaches you to be in the now, because the pain that you have to endure is crucial to your journey. Pain brings you into the now, into the moment. Yes, it hurts. The unconscious caterpillar has been denying that truth. The world is full of pain. Everyone is in pain. And the reason why they keep busy is so that they don't acknowledge how much pain they are in. The cocoon of darkness is where your spiritual guide, your soulful guide, will try to re-educate you. Yes, it does seem demonic. Yes, it is very difficult. Learn from the darkness though. Listen to the darkness, because the darkness is teaching you. It's showing you the way. Don't fight the way. Just listen. Write down your thoughts and feelings. Heal your past. Understand what had gone on. Understand the people in your life that have injured you. You are injured without a shadow of doubt. And so therefore, your soul comes in and says, I will heal you. If you are willing to take the journey and to listen to what I'm about to tell you and teach you and guide you, we will do this together. Because you and your soul have become separated. Separation is the key. Because everything on this planet has an identity, and that identity separates everything. Religions, names, sexes, colours, everything has a name, an identity. In the dark night of the soul, in the cocoon, it teaches you that there is no identity, and the only being that is worth listening to is the self. You will feel confused, upset, lonely, no communication, don't know who to tell your story to. Reason being is because you don't know how to tell the story. People will look at you and tell you to snap out of it, change direction. But you can't. You're locked in a battle between you and yourself. What is right? What is the illusion? What is love? What is a relationship? The key to this is you are the love you seek, and you are also the relationship that you seek. Know thyself is some of the greatest words that was ever used. Do you know thyself? And the answer to that is no. I've asked many people, did they know themselves? And the answer to that is no. Quite strange when you come to think about it. You live your life, being who you are, but you don't know who you are. It's a strange one, isn't it? In the cocoon of transformation, you get to understand who you are. And what you'll understand is that you're full of pain, guilt, disillusions, lies, mistrust, conflict. It's an incredible journey. But think about it. As I said to you, words are a separation. But what is it that you really feel? And you need to just choose one word. The word that I used was conflict. I discovered that my mind was in conflict, my body was in conflict, my emotions was in conflict. My whole past journey seemed like it was a conflict. So what I needed to heal was the conflict. Just one word. Then I chose another word. And that word that I chose was fear. I felt fear. There's a lot of fear in everything that we say, do, act, and the people that we meet. The world is full of it. It runs on fear. Your soul wants to endure fear. And the biggest fear is fear in the self. The pain that you will go through is excruciating. It will want to kill you off. Technically, you are being killed off. You're dying to the old self. You're dying to be me, to be you. This interesting part of this journey that I discovered is I found a code. A code was hidden within me. So when you go through this dark night of the soul, be sure you have been chosen. Be sure that you're well looked after. Be sure that everything is going to just turn out fine. All you need to do as a warrior, and you are a warrior, because to endure the dark night of the soul, your soul knows you can take it. Reason being is because you've taken so much shit from the past. So you've gotten this far. So you just need to endure this bit. Dreams, nightmares, being attacked, fearful dreams, being lost. Incredible, really. They're all showing you signs of fears. You fear to go out. You fear to go get a job. You fear to earn money. You fear to talk to people. You fear the future. This is good. This is very good. I can say this now. I couldn't at the time. And so therefore, that's why I'm sharing this knowledge with you. So that you can understand that it's all right. It's all right to love. It's all right to trust. And in the dark night of the soul, in the cocoon, you will learn symbolically your journey. Write everything down. Doesn't matter what you write. Just feel it. Just let it flow. Cry a river if you want. For many days. For many weeks. You'll find that you have no energy. You will find that you cannot get up in the mornings. You find that you're more awake at night. All night. And during the day, you sleep. Everything is reversed. See, the caterpillar has lived its journey on the outside, see? But now you're on the inside, and everything changes. The caterpillar uses the daylight, goes to work really, doesn't it? Same as you do. And then the caterpillar goes asleep at night, just like we do. But in the inner journey, when it reverses itself, the soul needs a lot of sleep during the day. Reason being, it's not interested in the day. It's not interested in the normal material world. It's only interested in the inner self of transformation. And so therefore, whilst the world is sleeping, you're awake. And there's a reason for that, because it's your time. So don't fight that neither. If you're up, you're up. Don't force yourself to go asleep. Listen to yourself again. Think, worry, cry. Go back through your journey. It's all part of the healing process. It's all part of the transformation. It's a great journey. In this journey, you may start to feel spirit, definitely your own spirit, because that's the most important part. Feeling. The truth is in feeling. So once you're done with the material feelings, the painful feelings, and the fearful feelings, and you understand, then you're going through the darkness. It's hard to know how much of the transformation is actually going on. But just know this, it is going on. Because this story of yours is very important, it's very special. Dark spirits, this is why they call it the dark night of the soul. In that transformation, you could see, hear, feel spirit. Your awareness becomes heightened. You think you hear things, voices, noises. And every time you close your eyes, you may see many, many faces. Sometimes the faces start off just being normal people. Then they start to get a little bit demonic. Demonic is okay. This is normal. This happens to everybody. Again, they're teaching you about fear because they want you to be spiritual. They want you to be your spirit body, not your painful body, your spirit self. If you are a being that believes that you don't die, you're 99% there. A lot of people don't believe that they move on, but the dark night of the soul teaches you that the journey goes on. It will show you. Ask your soul to show you, because your soul goes on a journey at night. It takes you to places that you've never been before. So pay attention to your dreams. Write them down too. Your thoughts will try to destroy you, I'm afraid. Listen to them. Pay attention to them. But know this. They are your thoughts. Because you know that you can become so much more. So you will call yourself all the names under the sun. You will hate yourself for sure. And the mind will just take over and try to destroy you. Again, this is normal. I learnt a lot in the dark night of the soul. And at the time I actually didn't know it was called that. I may have just called it depression really. But in the art of me, I really couldn't understand if it was depression or not. I just knew that it was the opposite end to who I used to be. I tried going back to who I used to be. It didn't happen. It was as if everything got shut down. Something was telling me, you can't go backwards. You can't go backwards. It's forwards. In this darkness, you will lose quite a few friends. You will discover who your friends are. You will also realize that your parents have no idea of how to communicate with you, because communication is key. One of the things of the dark night of the soul, it teaches you to be able to communicate, because this is what's wrong with the world. It can't communicate properly. The human language is wrong. It serves no purpose really. And the reason why I say that is because it's got no meaning. In the cocoon process, learn everything you can about what's been written about spiritual practices, healing practices. Look at crystals if you want to, spiritualism if you need to. See what works for you. I did the Reiki, I looked at the crystals, I became a psychic medium. This is another part of the journey. You do become that. I got into tarot card readings. I got into everything. I looked at Buddhism as well, trying to fulfill the need within me, a trigger that might just make everything seem okay. But little did I know, in my transformation, I was going to be the only one that had this information once you get through. But that's in part 3. But for now, it's just the darkness. It's just the darkness that you need to talk to. It's a great teacher, as I said. But be sure of one thing, it will be fine. You'll be good. It'll all make sense. You got to clear your mind. Very difficult, I know. But just get rid of the words. Words serve no purpose. He's teaching you to meditate. He's teaching you about stillness, gentleness, love of self. Your body will also ache. It will be pained. You will feel that you're critically ill. In some sense you are, but you're not really. You may go to the doctors. They're not going to find anything wrong with you. Because doctors deal with the physical. This isn't physical. Your spiritual symptoms are causing a physical effect, that's for sure. Every organ in your body might start to malfunction a little bit. There was at times when I thought I was having a heart attack, or a liver complaint, or my kidneys were failing. Terrible stomach pains. That's where it all is. This is the 3rd chakra point. This journey affects you right there. That's why you feel an emptiness. But it's like a fulfillness of pain that needs to be dislodged. Because what it's trying to get you to do is to get to the 4th chakra point, which is the heart, which is all loving. This is the interesting part of the journey. I didn't believe in the chakras at all, but you can feel it. You will understand it. Listen to your feelings, as I say. They're so important. If you have children, find the love there. And be careful, because you are the teacher for your children, and they will see what you're going through. Make sure you try to talk to them. Get them to understand a little bit, even though that may seem difficult. It's an experience that you're going through. Just remember that. Keep that firmly planted in your head. I am just going through an experience. This is an experience of my life, and it's called hard work, and it's the hardest work you'll ever endure. You won't get paid for it, but in the end, the riches are so worth it. You're actually being taught the keys to the kingdom within. Christ also endured this journey, because Christ was all about love, love of self. Know thyself. You may even see visions of Christ yourself. Listen to that, because it's true. I never would have believed it if I hadn't ever experienced it. You may read other people's journeys of saying something very similar, because every dark night of the soul is very similar. It just all depends who communicates with you and explains it in a way that you understand. But it's all the same. But what I've noticed with a lot of people that go for the dark night of the soul, it didn't get much after. I was lucky. Maybe not lucky. Maybe I was honest. I wrote everything down, and I listened well. I played the game. And I discovered beamism, ember key, healing code, a map, and loads of symbols. Ingenious, clever, beautiful. Just how we was meant to be, you know. He's teaching you about naturalness, because you've been unnatural most of your life. I say most of your life. Your first 6 years you was okay. After that, the programming really digs in. changes your naturalness, changes the God self, how the Creator intended you to be. We lost all our gifts, and I believe it like this. I believe school is like all these little butterflies go to school and they rip your wings off and turn you into caterpillars. But the transformation of the dark soul wants to take you back, wants to sew your wings back on. It makes sense, doesn't it? Because you know inside you that you're not meant to feel like this. That's true as well. Some parts of this journey, you may even look at life and it just seems so dark. Mine, when I awoke, it was like hell. I thought, my God, I've died and woke up in hell. It seemed like everyone was bullshitting, everyone was lying, everyone was talking bollocks. Couldn't trust anyone. And you know the most important thing was, I saw everyone's pains. I saw their demons. Their demons can attack you, especially when you're going through the dark night of the soul. It seems like when the shit's hitting the fan, it keeps on coming. Get used to that, because that's what happens. People kick you when you're down, but also know that is part of the process. That's their darkness. That's their soul actually moving you on, believe it or not. I know it's hard to believe, but I can thank everyone, you know. The harder they kicked me, yeah, it hurt. Yeah, I fell. I tried to believe in me. Yes, it seemed it was mad. Yes, I thought I was going mad. Another part of the journey, I'm afraid. It is mad. But again, once you get through, you will realise your material journey was mad, and that you will see most of the population is also mad. Not most of it, all of the population. I think everyone's mad. I think to live on planet Earth, there's a form of insanity. The things we do is just a waste of time. You work, slave labour. What do you actually get from life? I don't think it's a lot. It seems like you're destined as a being, no matter what you do, to be who you are. But in the dark night, see, you've got completely disappointed with life. Admit it. Say to yourself, I am totally disappointed with life, with beings, even with parents. It's okay to do that. It's okay to say that. It's the truth, really. There's also one other thing that you'll be amazed about. Once you do start awakening, you'll be saying things you've never said before, and people will think you're mad about that. You might start talking about spirit. You might start talking about love and how wonderful and beautiful life is. Your words will change. They will have some form of intelligence behind them. You won't waste your time with fools. You won't even speak to fools. You won't endure other people's emotions. You won't want to listen to other people's shit. You will just be completely bored with them all. And you will be bored with life as well. But this is where you start to create, see? You find the creative side of you. I believe most beings that go into this dark night of the soul, especially the cocoon side, is about finding the creative spirit, your potential, your healing gifts and power. That is an incredible journey, and you really do have them. I think it's a good thing. I think you should honour this journey, and anyone that doesn't have any idea of what you're doing or where you're going, then they're just not as special as you are. There may be times when your relationship is breaking down. Maybe it's time for that to happen. Maybe you've been with someone 20, 30 years. Allow that to break down as well. Because it will, no matter how hard you try to keep it. It will break down because it wants to change everything. It wants you to experience so much more of yourself. But you can't do it in the restrictions that you've been led to believe. In the cocoon, all restrictions are going to change. Because your mind has been restricting you. Your mind has been a prison. Your emotions have imprisoned you. The communication between your mind and emotions are killing you. This is illness. This is how illness affects everyone. And a lot of illness is due to dark spirit. Look at the dark spirit you may know. Just see beings as spirits, or souls. Forget them being human for the moment. Just look at the divine plan of it. The darkness is here to stop the light. The darkness is here to stop the people from awakening, and that includes your politicians. The world is run by maniacs, big man's egos, power, greed. They are better than you. No, they're not. You will understand energy, power of manifesting, love. Your relationships will become soulful relationships. You will understand that every relationship that you've had has been a journey of teaching and healing. There are two types of people that come into your life. One that wants to kill you, and one that will want to heal you. I'm afraid you won't meet many people that want to heal you. But long as you know this, the more that they're trying to kill you, in actual fact, they're healing you. I know, it sounds mad, doesn't it? I thought it was mad. But now I get it. Now I see it. It makes sense. Why should we live a world of materialism? It doesn't do anything. It's not worth holding on to. But the one thing that is worth holding on to is your soul. Your soul is not up for sale. And as I mentioned earlier on, dark spirit will try to claim that because your soul is the trophy. I saw many visions. I saw visions of why this was happening on the planet. And I was taken to the other side. And there are two places, you know. But one's not called hell and one's not called heaven. One's actually called normal. That would be your hell place. And the reason why I say that is because there is a better place, a higher level of consciousness, because that's where you're heading to. Your consciousness will change, your thoughts will change, your ideas will change, your potential will change. Everything will change. You don't want to buy a new car, do you, and it drive like the old one? No, that'd be a waste of time and money. This new you is going to drive so much more different. It's going to have a lot of power. And you're being tested, by the way, to see whether or not how you use that power. Will you use it for darkness, or will you use it for the good of? Massive test. This is the test, and if you can get through, well, there is no diploma on the planet, I'm afraid. Naturalness is the diploma. It's hard to explain to people what you're going through. It's hard to explain to people once you get through. But you know what? I don't give a shit. I don't care what people think about me. Because you know what? People always think about you. Their own thoughts will decide who you are and what you are. But that doesn't matter. It's what you decide you are. So let's conclude this cocoon side, and this is only a bit really. This is just 30 minutes, an idea of letting you know that it's something you go through. It's not something you can end. You've taken the journey. You're in the tunnel. You can see the light at the end of it. Yes, it does seem like every time you think you're getting out of the tunnel, the light seems to disappear and get further away. That's all right. That happens. That's part of the game. That's a good sign, actually, because the road is longer. And the longer it is, the more you have to learn. And the more you learn, the more wisdom you gain. So you have to thank your soul that it's taking you on this truly remarkable journey to get to the light. What is the light, let's say? It's you. It's you that is going to save you. It's you that's going to love you because you are the relationship. That's the be me. That's the real you. The one you should have been before the program fucked you over. Also, if I was you, but I'm not you, but for me, I didn't take the depression tablets. I knew there was something else going on here. I knew they wouldn't work. Do your research on that, because even if you are taking them, I guarantee you hate taking them. That's a good sign. They don't do anything. They won't love you. They won't teach you, and they won't guide you. They're just there to numb you down. The doctor has no idea. It's a big epidemic at the moment, depression. Lost souls, technically. Looking for answers. Looking for meaning and purpose. You can't find that in a tablet. There's no tablet that does that. Do your homework. research it yourself. And if you've taken some, then let me know how you feel. Ask yourself how you feel. You won't be feeling better. Let me share a little about my journey. I'm sure it's not too far away from your own life, really. It seems we all go through the same things, and reason being, there is only so many chapters and experiences you can actually go through in the process we call life. Basically, I'd had enough of all the bullshit life was bringing me. I was fed up trying to be happy when all people were doing was trying to make me unhappy. The more I earned, the more the taxes wanted. The more I owned, the more I feared losing. The more I loved, the more I got hurt. The more I had, others wanted from me. I was forever chasing the world of holding on to my life with both hands, trying to survive. Every time you thought you had a grip on life, it felt like the rug was pulled from under me. Everything I tried to better my life was failing. Why, I thought? Was it with me that is finding it so difficult just to get on? It seemed like I tried everything to make business prosper, relationships to last longer, and money to just keep flowing. And the most important factor I discovered was this: I just couldn't sustain the feeling of love. My love for anything was disappearing rapidly, and this went on for many years, struggling, trying to hold on to everything when all that seemed that was happening is people seemed to move the goalposts. So just as you thought you were back up on your feet, something would happen and you would start to slip down the slippery slopes of losing everything. I had had enough. I couldn't go on, so I decided to let the lot go. I thought to myself, if I'm meant to let go, I will. Because I used to think life worked like this: if it's working, it's working. If it's not working, then it isn't. And that's as simple as I can take the journey. I felt like I could no longer control my life, so I just let it all slip away. This can't be my life, I thought. It's too painful trying to hold on to this feeling of being happy. I fell into depression in a bad way. Basically, I got so messed up, I didn't actually want to live anymore. I really thought that life was having a go at me. It wanted me to fail. I couldn't put up with another 30 years of this, I thought, so I decided to die. But first, I decided to write a letter. Not to God, not to Jesus, and not to the angels. Now you may be thinking I'm writing a suicide note to leave to my family, but that's not going to be my death. That wasn't dramatic enough for me. I wanted something that was harder, more challenging than taking my life. I wanted to transform me. I wanted to start again. I wanted to believe that my life was worth living and that I was special to be here on this planet. I wanted to be able to heal my mind, my emotions, and my pains from my experiences. So I decided to ask the most important guide on the planet. I decided to go to the top looking for answers. So I decided to write a letter to the man that I knew that I could count on to guide me through this conflict. The very man that would listen to me, love me, and guide me true. So I decided to write my letter to my soul. My soul was the last chance of survival. So I asked this simple question to my soul: Soul, what do you want me to be? And my soul replied, be me. It was at that moment I trusted the truth. My soul wanted me to be me. My soul wanted me to find the very essence of who I was. But most importantly, my soul wanted me to know who I was going to become. So for many years, I had an intelligent conversation with the greatest teacher on the planet, and he was inside me all the way, guiding me, inspiring me to transform and become a being that was awake, intuitive, wise, and most importantly, to love who I was. My soul told me that the greatest relationship on earth can be explained in 3 letters. These 3 letters were B-M-E, be me. And this became the meaning and purpose to my life. And that is where you're heading, to be you. So look at your body, look at your mind, and look at your emotions, be me. Question being you, and answer about being you. And if you really want to know some greater truths, then ask your soul who you really are, and you will discover the real be me within you. And this is the process of the Dark Night of the Soul in the Cocoon, Part 2. This is Trevor Ilesley, preparing for Part 3, the Butterfly of Transformation. You can Facebook me, Trevor Ilesley Teaching Beamism, and you can email me. I will get back to you with your questions if you need any help. So for now, be gentle, take care, love the journey, listen to the journey, feel the journey, communicate with the journey, and write everything down because it is important. I'll see you soon.